Welcome to my preparation for apnea practice. This is a training I do before training dry apnea, before going freediving, or in the days when I don't really feel like training and I still want to move my body and warm up my lungs. I start by taking a moment to focus and to settle in the practice, and then I move my body down from my feet up to my head. I start by circling my ankles outwards and inwards around 5 times each time, and then I do the same with my left foot. Next, I move further up my body to my knees, and I also circle them around 5 times outwards and inwards for both legs. And of course, this entire practice, you can do it at your own rhythm. You can do it faster or slower, do more circles. You can grab a chair to hold on to. You can really make this your own. This is just a training that over the last few years I kind of created. I picked up little bits and bobs from amazing freedivers, and I kind of simplified it into one single routine. I move further up the body, and I also circle my hips each ways, and then I do those full body twists, and here I just give a small impulse from my core, and I let my shoulders, my elbows, my arms and hands kind of fly around, and I really let go. And you can see after a while you can twist quite strongly and fully let go. Then I circle my shoulders backwards and downwards. And then I also circle them to the front, focusing on relaxing my neck. And then I do large circles with my arms, forwards and afterwards backwards. Then I start loosening up my neck, first by simply looking left and right. And here I don't try to twist it as far as I can, but I simply focus on looking left and right, and then looking down and up. So I'm letting the movement be guided by my eyes. What can I see? And with every movement I can look a little bit further. And then you can gently start rolling your head from left to right. And if you want to, you can do full circles, but only if this feels comfortable to you. I usually close my eyes during this part, and I roll to each side a few times. And then something I personally really like to do is just to take a moment and twist and move my body in all types of ways that it naturally calls for, where I feel tensions, where I maybe want to crack it a bit. I just shake it out. And then I sit down, and just as we warmed up and moved our body and loosened up, we're going to do the same to our lungs, and a bit more specifically the area that we require for freediving. And there are 2 ways we will do it. And the first time we do it by breathing normally, and then in the second round we do the same stretches with full lungs. So here we first bend sideways, hold it for a few breaths, and then to the other side. On the very slow days, I do only this part of the practice really slowly. And we twist to the back on one side and also on the other side. Then we interlace our fingers and push our back out And here, while breathing, you can really feel it expanding. We do the same, opening up our chest and pushing our hands to the back. And the last stretch is our streamlined position while freediving. And here I try to get a gentle stretch into my arms. Now the second way, we do this with full lungs. So we breathe a little bit and we take a full inhale and we do the same stretches. Here, be very careful because we don't really feel when we hurt our lungs. So be very gentle doing this. Here you can see my stretch with the full lungs is a little bit less than I did before. We breathe out, and already with the next full inhale, I stretch to the other side. If you want to take it slower and do a couple of breaths in between, that is totally fine. You can just pause the video. Let go the breath and do another full inhale, and we twist to one side. We hold the full inhale and gently twist into this position. We let go and take another full inhale, and we twist to the other side. Breathe out, and we interlace our fingers, and with the next full inhale, push out to the back. Now with the next movement, where we push out the chest, we have to be especially gentle. So we take a full breath, interlace our fingers to the back, and only very gently push out our chest. Now with the last full inhale, we go into our freediving position. And this really feels a little bit like being in the water. And we breathe normally, recover, and find our own rhythm. Now for the third part, after warming up our body and our lungs, we also warm up our face. And you can see I start by opening my mouth, my jaw widely, moving it. I sometimes move my head a little bit, let go any tensions. And then I start by gently massaging my ears. And if you're comfortable, you can be quite strong here. I like to pull my ears into all ways. Sometimes I open my mouth a little bit at the same time. Sometimes I equalize to really warm up that area. And especially because I'm freediving a lot in cold waters, this has really made a difference. Then I take a moment to massage my face, my sinuses from the outside, to stretch all of those areas, let go tensions, and kind of activate everything a little bit. I also massage my jaw, because a lot of times we hold tension there without even realizing. I pinch sometimes little parts of my face and pull a little bit. And I feel like this really opens up my airways. Then, as a next step to let go any remaining tensions, I lightly tap my face. I go very gently with the tips of my fingers, tap around wherever I feel like it feels good. And if you want, you can make sounds at the same time. Sometimes making those vibrating sounds helps us to let go tensions, pressures, and just really settle into this warm-up session before our apnea training. As I move around all areas of my face, I also move down my neck and at the back of my neck. And here you can tap a little bit stronger, or you can even form little fists with your hand and drum around your chest. And especially here it feels very good to make a sound and let it leave your body. So I tap around my chest, doing those vibrating sounds, and I just travel around to wherever it feels comfortable. Then I take a moment to find my breathing again, just very normal, tidal breathing. And as a last step of the practice, I do some belly breathing. I sometimes put a hand on my belly and feel it moving. And here there are 3 ways you can do it if you want to add this part to your practice. Either it can be a breath hold with full lungs, it can be a breath hold with empty lungs, or it can be a little stretch of your diaphragm where you vacuum in your stomach. What I choose to do depends a little bit on what my goals are for training. Here you can see I do a short breath hold with a full inhale to really feel like what it feels like to have this full inhale in my body. For the breath hold with rather empty lungs or half empty lungs, this is something I do when I want to train something specific that day, either dry apnea or when I want to prepare my body for freedive training. But perhaps my favorite way of ending the practice is to do stomach vacuums. You can find many videos on how to do it on YouTube, or maybe one day I'll add my own to that. But basically you breathe out all the way and then you just let your stomach suck in naturally. Here you can see I take a full breath and I slowly breathe out fully. And in the end I really push out that last bit of air. I hold my breath and my stomach sucks in by itself. Either I hold it, sometimes I do small pulsations. On this day I felt it very comfortable, so I very, very gently massaged it with my hands. Breathe out and breathe in. And this is already the end of this training. Here I take a moment to calm down and I lie down. And if I want to that day, I start my apnea training.